have a Disaster Area DPC-5 Gen 3, line 6 HX Stomp over here. And the goal here is to change patches on this from this. As you can see over here, I have a plexi setting, which is up in the custom range on the HX Stomp. A little bit on that. The HX Stomp patches 1 through 33C are all the factory presets, and that leaves you with 34A to 42C blank presets that you can build your custom settings on. And I instinctively did this when I got the HX Stomp. Only to find out that when I went to control it with the Disaster Area, I was only able to go up 20 MIDI settings, so I couldn't even get up to 34A to 42C. Struggled with this for a little bit, spoke to support, there was some confusion, but I figured it out and I wanted to make a video in case anyone else was having the same issue. So let's get started on this. Just to be clear, you can see we have a plexi setting. If I go to the A setting, I have tweed here, but it's saying distortion boost. This is an effect setting for a live amp. I want an amp model of a tweed. So let's get started from the ground up. First thing you want to do is go into preset mode on the Disaster Area. So you would unplug the device and then plug it back in. And to get into preset mode, when you see that Gen 3, you hold in buttons A and B until you see Setup. You'll be confronted with PRST, which stands for Preset. That's preset mode. We're going to use the B button to advance to Dev, device mode. It's here that you set up the number of MIDI devices you want. Now, the Disaster Area only allows you to do 4. I want to set up 3. So I will take the L5 save button and hit it, and you'll see that I have Dev C. I've already set this up. Now, if you had one MIDI device, all you would do is just advance, and it would go to A, and if you saved this and booted up, you would only be able to put one MIDI device on. That's not what I want, because Dev A for me is my Strymon timeline, and I have it daisy-chained over here to the HX Stomp. So I'm going to advance to B. Now, the plan is to buy another MIDI device, so that's what I'm going to use MIDI device B for, and then go to C, which is where the signal is going to go out the Disaster Area into the Strymon through a MIDI through cable into the HX Stomp. So that device C is going to control the stomp. And just so you know, Dev A, B, and C correspond with MIDI channels. So Dev A is 1, Dev B is 2, you get the idea. So you will have to set this up in the HX Stomp. So I have the HX Stomp set to be MIDI device 3, and we're in Dev C. Get out of there. Now we're in device mode. Now we're going to advance beyond that to MIDI device A, MIDI device B, to C. And again, this is where I'm going to have the HX Stomp. Now I hit the plus, and Disaster Area has a lot of built-in presets. This is a Strymon Big Sky. If you advance with the B, you can see we've got an Eventide, Chase Bliss, what have you. For my purposes, I actually found that the Big Sky works well for me. And the reason for this is there's more than enough MIDI settings to accommodate the channels that are on the HX Stomp. Now, you may find one of the presets work better for the HX Stomp as you experiment with this. I will tell you that as of this recording, Disaster Area has not had a firmware update that supports the HX Stomp. So the Big Sky, as I said, more than enough MIDI channels to accommodate jumping to whatever MIDI setting you need to jump to. So I'm going to stay with the Big Sky. Hit plus to get back out here to the main menu. And then I'm going to hold in the L5 save button, which will allow the device to boot back up and it will remember all my settings. Now we're at the normal operation of the Disaster Area. Now here, I've already named this preset A. If I disengage the button, we've got the bank 5 with my A, B, C, and D presets, and I have the default setting to plexi. So I want to hit this guy and have it be the Tweed amp model. So this is how we'll do it. The first thing you do is go into device mode. On the far right, the D button, hold that in, and this is where you can scroll through your MIDI device channels and change the patches. So as previously stated, A is my timeline, B, DC, think of that as MIDI don't care. This is for my forthcoming MIDI device that I haven't bought yet, so we're going to go past that guy to C. Now, the A scrolls this way, the B button scrolls this way, so I'm going to hold it in and scroll down. If I lift up, you can see it changed it. So I just want to find my Tweed setting. I might be farther this way here. There we go. So Tweed 40A. Now, I'm done with device mode. I want to go over here to the D button, hold that guy in again. Disaster Area users will know this as loop pedal mode. This is where you engage all your analog pedals. This part's out of scope because I just wanted to focus on MIDI, but you'll get the idea. Let's see, I'll just take out my boost here. I'll keep my flanger on. This B is my small stone, and I'll keep my Cali 76, which is on this switch, for that good country twang that I want for my Tweed. So let's hold that guy in, and we're ready to save. So you come all the way here to the far left and hold in the L5 save button. It'll start to blink. You hold it in yet again, and the letters will blink. I've already named it. I'm not going to cover this because I'm going to presume we have Disaster Area users on here and they full well know how to save preset names. So we'll hold this in again. It'll save, you let go, and it'll commit it to memory. Now, if I disengage, we've got the plexi. If I engage it, we've got the Tweed dirt. Using the Disaster Area with the Stomp is a great thing because you've got all this capabilities to store snapshots as well as your analog pedals, which I have them going into this, and I have the effects loop send on the HX Stomp going to my Strymon. So there's a ton of flexibility here. I can save presets for when I want to run out to my live amp and run direct out to the house, or just 100% amp modeling. I've got more than enough presets on here. It's just a lot easier to maneuver, and there's greater capability to unlock the power in this Stomp. So that's it. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I will answer them. And keep picking.